There's nothing more shocking than when a show decides to offer character out of nowhere, killing off a cast member and leaving the audience reeling as a result. However, usually us viewers can be sure that the cast and crew were aware of the forthcoming surprise and had months of advance of notice for where their character was headed, long before we were made privy to the fact. And usually this assumption would be right, as actors often collaborate with the creators of the shows they star in to decide on the best direction for their characters to take. However, in recent years, the cultural obsession with spoilers has meant many actors are kept in the dark about their fate, particularly on big-budget shows, lest they spill the beans and ruin things. Even before this phenomenon, some less than cooperative actors were offed without their knowledge, so filmmakers could continue shooting without them. As seen in this rundown of the TV deaths that were so surprising, even the actors didn't see them coming. I am Kirsten from What Culture, and these are the 10 TV character deaths not even the actors saw coming. Number 10, Frank Dunphy, Fred Willard, Modern Family. Now, admittedly, this one was more the fault of the actors involved than many of the entries on this list, as they could have seen this spoiler coming if they'd read the scripts, but this one has nonetheless taken on a poignant significance in recent weeks. Modern Family star Sarah Hyland admitted during the show's recent final season earlier this year that she doesn't read the scripts of episodes her character isn't in, meaning she wasn't expecting the devastating death of her on-screen grandfather. Played by comedy veteran Fred Willard, the kindly old character was off to Hyland's surprise just a few months before Willard himself died suddenly shortly after the series wrapped for good. Number 9, Dr. KUTNER, Kal Penn, House. When Harold and Kumar go to White Castle star Kal Penn nabbed a job as communications advisor for the Obama White House administration in early 2009, he more than understood that the hit TV show on which he appeared needed to cut down his screen time and give his character a gracious exit as a result. And that's exactly what House, the mega hit Hugh Laurie dramedy about the titular limping super doctor anti-hero, did, by killing him off in a sudden and unexpected suicide. The death was a blow to fans and Penn alike, as the actor admitted he didn't even know his recurring character, Dr. KUTNER, was set to die, let alone meet such a tragic and definitive end. Number 8, Rita, Julie BENZ, Dexter. Played to perfection by the superb Julie BENZ, Rita was a pivotal addition to the cast of Showtime's darkly comic serial killer, serial Dexter, with her role as the eponymous sociopathic Avenger's wife adding some necessary humanity to the show's otherwise glib tone. When it came time for the series to offer this lone light of hope in a show which regularly revelled in the worst of humanity, the actor playing her murderer, John Lithgow, was given an entire season to prepare for the shocking twist. However, BENZ herself says the secret was kept under such tight wraps that she only learned of Rita's fate a day before the rest of the cast, which must be a tough way of encountering what one critic called the most shocking TV scene ever. Number 7, George O'Malley, T.R. Knight, Grey's Anatomy. This one is a bit brutal, as the actor involved insists not only was he not aware of where the writers were taking his character, but it was actually an unfortunate miscommunication which got the character killed. Long-running medical drama Grey's Anatomy was played with plenty of cast reshuffles and dramatic actor exits throughout its long run. In particular, the death of George O'Malley, a character played by T.R. Knight, was rumoured to have come about when their unhappy actor complained about where the character was headed to series creator Shonda Rhimes, who responded by killing him off. This decision was far from what Knight had in mind, but by the time he learned of George's impending fate, the damage had been done. Number 6, Glenn and Abraham, The Walking Dead. As brutal a television show as the small screen has ever offered up to unsuspecting viewers, the AMC mega hit The Walking Dead has never been shy about offing members of its cast in unexpected and brutal circumstances. Forever attempting to one-up its own audaciousness, the adaptation of Robert Kirkman's long-running comic series upped the ante massively when one season premiere promised the brutal death of not one, but 2 major characters thanks to Negan's bat. Who? Well, no one knew. Having refused to tell the cast, the show went as far as to shoot the death scenes for many of the central ensemble so that even leaked footage couldn't spoil the surprise. Truly groundbreaking commitment to avoiding spoilers. Rest in peace, Glenn. Rest in peace. Number 5, Blake, McLean Stevenson, MASH. The original, the most famous, and possibly the greatest surprise demise in TV history, Blake's exit from the war dramedy MASH reminded viewers that this cozy sitcom was set during a war, and the realities of that horror were always ready to slip into the show's milieu. It was a drastic shock which left viewers reeling as they assumed the happy-go-lucky second-in-command of lovable slacker Hawkeye was bound for a happy homecoming, and the scene hammered home the reality of America's bloody misadventures abroad in no uncertain terms. However, the actors on set weren't informed of Blake's brutal fate until they filmed the scene in which it was revealed. Number 4. Ana Lucia, Michelle Rodriguez, Lost. This one is a little more understandable than most, as the writers of Lost didn't offer the character played by Fast and Furious star Michelle Rodriguez with a reasonable cause. Her character Ana Lucia Cortez may have seemed vital to proceedings in this twisty mystery when she was introduced, but within the same reason she had been swiftly killed off with little fanfare. Rodriguez was one of the most recognisable cast members, having already established herself in a handful of prominent supporting roles in blockbusters, so why was her character offed without even the actor herself getting much prior warning? Well, mainly because Rodriguez ran the production into trouble with the state of Hawaii via a DUI arrest which threatened the state's cooperation with the studio's filming, so not totally out of nowhere then. Number 3. Oscar, Vincent Ward, The Walking Dead. Again. It was inevitable that a show as infamously evasive as The Walking Dead would put in a pair of appearances on this list, since the series is known for going to absurd lengths in order to avoid spoilers as the earlier entry evidenced. But for poor Vincent Ward, the actor who played Oscar in the show's 3rd season, the show's homicidal tendencies still came as a surprise. The actor admitted in a later interview that he was pissed, understandably enough, when he discovered his character would be killed as he sat in the makeup chair, reading his lines before shooting said tragic death scene. He's since gotten over it, he assured the interviewer, but damn, what a time to find out. Number 2, Eddie, Ed Sheeran, Game of Thrones. It's fair to say that this entry may not have cost the cast too many sleepless nights, particularly when HBO's mega-budget, mega-controversial George R.R. Martin adaptation Game of Thrones was already infamous for offing characters left, right and centre. When the Lannister troubadour Eddie appeared briefly in one surreal, drawn-out scene of the show, played by divisive singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran, fans weren't crazy about his acting abilities and singled out the sequence for some intense criticism. This was the last that Sheeran heard from the producers, prompting him to complain that he wished he'd been given a good death scene. It's a wish which was granted in the season 8 premiere, wherein a pair of prostitutes recall old Eddie, but not quite as a fondly held client. No, rather more brutally, and seemingly without Sheeran's knowledge, one of them announces he lost his eyelids to dragon fire, so fair to say he's probably not alive anymore at that point. Sorry Ed, Valar Morghulis indeed. Number 1, Hugh, Jonathan Del Arco, Star Trek, Picard. Oh, rest in peace, poor Hugh. Years after being freed from the Borg in the Next Generation's iconic installment, I, Borg, 3rd of 5 gave his life in order to save his own saviour, the titular characters of Star Trek, Picard. Of course, this was all news to the man playing him, who discovered poor Hugh was set to bite the proverbial in episode 7 shortly before shooting his closing scenes. Actor Jonathan Del Arco was far from bitter, however, saying it's probably a good thing I didn't know way early, because the moment I found out ended up liberating my work quite a bit. The classic defence everyone opts for once they discover the wool's been pulled over their eyes. Good call, Huey. And there we go, the 10 TV character deaths that not even the actors saw coming. But let us know if you did down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to also click that bell icon to be notified of any new videos coming your way. But for now, I have been Kirsten Ria from What Culture, and I will see you in the next video.